Hey everybody, this is Maxine Taylor with another Trumpology report. And tonight I thought we would talk about Sean Spicer. Today is January 23rd, 2017, just a couple of days after Trump's inauguration and the first press conference news release that Sean Spicer, the press secretary, gave to his colleagues in the media. This is a very unusual conference because in his message he reported on the attendance at Trump's inauguration, which pictures have shown on the news to be less than Obama's was in his last inauguration. And Sean Spicer came out and very angrily told everybody that those pictures were not true and that the attendance was far greater than the pictures indicated, and insisted that what he was saying was the truth. At that very same meeting, he did another thing that was unprecedented. He didn't take any questions from his colleagues. This morning and last night on the news, his colleagues actually praised him, saying he had been a wonderful news person and they really liked him, and they didn't understand why he reacted that way because it cost him his credibility. Okay. Let us now take a look astrologically at what is going on here. First of all, I'm going to share Sean Spicer's solar chart with you. We don't have a birth time for him, so unfortunately we don't have an ascendant. We don't know exactly where the moon is, but I think I can give you a really good idea, a thumbnail sketch of what he is like. And then I'm going to compare his chart to Trump's and Trump's chart to his, and so we'll get a nice picture. So let's look here. He has Saturn, the planet of leadership and authority and seriousness, in his 10th house of career, and so he needs to be in the limelight as an authority figure. His South Node is in the 12th house of behind-the-scenes activities. This is where we go. This is where we retreat. This is what we are instinctively drawn to. And so there's a great deal of behind-the-scenes activities, which I would imagine there is for many people when they have the South Node in the 12th house, but also particularly those in government, because a lot goes on behind the scenes. His Mercury is in his first house, so he's able to articulate. Wherever Mercury is what you think about and talk about. So he's thinking about himself and talking about himself. Now his Pluto and Sun, while they appear to be in the first house, are really right on that second cusp. Pluto is control, the Sun is the giver of life, and so this is the second house of money. There is a great need for him to create money and be in control of it. He has Venus, the planet of love and money and beauty, in his second house, which is great for creating money. And it is pretty much, within about, let's see, 5 degrees conjunct Uranus, which is the innovator, the freelancer, the one who says, let's let it all rip, let's let it all hang out. And so he's very innovative and inventive in the way in which he's going to earn his money. He has his moon in the 3rd house. This is the house of communication. The moon is what we are instinctively drawn to. So with Saturn, the leader, in his 10th house and the moon in the 3rd, he is naturally excellent in press work. He has Neptune. It's a little hard for you to read it here because it's sitting right on that 4th cusp. He has Neptune on his 4th cusp, conjunct Jupiter, which expands it. This is his haven, his home and family, his haven. He has his Mars, what you throw yourself into, right smack dab on top of his North Node in his 6th house of work, health, and service. And so he is a hard worker and would get the job done. And his work comes first to him. He has his Mars in Aquarius and the North Node in Aquarius, and that's the sign of humanitarianism. And this is why I think his colleagues would speak very highly of him. Okay, now let's talk about what Trump triggers in his chart. and what he triggers in Trump's. Again, when I say chart, for Sean, we're talking about his solar chart because we don't have his birth time. Okay, Trump's Uranus, the inventive one, the innovator, the rebel, is in his 10th house of his public image. There he was rebelling at his press conference. The North Node, the area of greatest success, in his 10th house. And the Sun, the giver of life and the authority, all in his 10th house. And so this is what Trump bestows on him by working as his boss. Okay, look at this 11th house. Trump's Mercury is there. So Sean thinks about groups, a lot of group activities. Saturn is there, so he has to be the leader in the groups. And Venus is there, so there's a love of groups and people in general. So it's very serious, very authoritarian, very loving, and very communicative. Now, here's where the comparison really gets interesting, because the conjunction is the strongest aspect that we have. So, Trump's Pluto, the planet of control, sits on Sean's karmic south node. This shows that from a past life, there was an element of control that they have both mastered and understood, and so the control comes from Trump to Sean, and this can weaken his behind-the-scenes activities. South node weaken. Trump's Mars, anger, passion, also sits on Sean's south node. And so that puts him in the behind-the-scenes role, the service role. And while we do not have an ascendant for Sean, we have a solar ascendant. Trump's ascendant sits on Sean's solar ascendant, and so there's a great similarity then between them and a great influence that Trump has over Sean, his employee. Trump is the employer, Sean is the employee. Now look at this second house area of money. Trump's Neptune. Neptune is idealistic, it washes things away, or it divinely inspires and creates the dream. Trump's Neptune is on Sean's Pluto. It can dissolve some of his control. It sits on his Sun, it can inspire him, or dissolve his own ego and create him. Neptune is make-believe. Neptune is the role that we play, and so with Trump's Neptune on Sean's Sun, he can play a different role. Now, Trump's Neptune on Sean's Venus is a beautiful, loving friendship. There is a loving feeling from one to the other. And Trump's Neptune on Sean's Uranus kind of holds down some of that rebellion. But Trump's Jupiter on Sean's Venus-Uranus indicates a great friendship and a lot of rebellion and innovation, no matter where it happens to fall, if and when we ever get Sean's birth time. Now, Trump's South Node and Moon in his 4th house, Sean's 4th house, does not give Sean a lot of time at home with his family. The Moon triggers change, but also an emotional attachment to his home and family. And Trump's vertex, karmic role, in Sean's 5th house says that Trump can encourage him to have fun and to be creative. Okay. The final chart that I want to share is what Sean triggers in Trump's chart. Sean's Saturn, authority, responsibility, seriousness, sits in Trump's 10th house, giving him more responsibility and more dignity. Sean's South Node on Trump's Pluto indicates that, once again, that karmic tie relating to control, behind the scenes control. And that can weaken some of Trump's control, diminish some of it. Very, very interesting. Sean's Mercury in Trump's 1st house encourages him to talk about himself. And we've got all that 2nd house action that we talked about in Sean's chart, in Trump's chart. And so we've got Sean's Pluto, Sun, Venus, and Uranus control, creative energy, friendship, and rebellion, triggering Trump's dreams, his money, his idealism, and bringing about a strong feeling, a strong financial connection, and a strong feeling of friendship. Sean's moon in Trump's third house brings an emotional tone to Trump's thinking. Sean's Neptune-Jupiter in Trump's fourth house triggers the message that his home and family is very important to him. It is his haven, his escape. And with Sean's Mars North Node in Trump's sixth house, he can really help Trump throw himself into his job, and can deal with Trump's employees. So, interesting, don't you think? I leave it to you to interpret it as you choose, and I look forward to my next Trumpology report with you. Till then, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours.